Now, could we see freedom of movement between the UK and Spain? The Spanish Prime Minister has reportedly made a case for an agreement allowing Spanish young people to live and work in the UK, and some private talks with Keir Starmer. The Labour leader apparently rejected the proposal but said he would consider it. I think that is called sitting on the fence, isn't it? But could this be another backdoor Brexit betrayal? Come on, we have to use the B word at least once a day. Let's see what my panel make of this. I'm sure they'll agree on it. No, I'm sure they won't, actually. Claire, and do please keep your messages coming on. Where was that one? Oh, sorry, I've lost your name there, but you seem to be proposing to Claire because you can't understand why she's married to Nigel. Do keep them coming in, though. He is lovely, by the way.
Could we have some Team Nigel ones in, please?
I'll get back to you. No. Right, so, now, Brexit by the back door. We've heard this from Labour a million times. I'm coming to you first on this one, Nigel, because you're the Labour chap amongst us here, aren't you? I mean, this was something that was discussed at the meeting...
At the summit,
yeah. The summit, yes, wasn't it? Yeah. Obviously, this is coming from the Spanish Prime Minister, not from Keir Starmer, who's denied it's going to happen. But does it sound like it's a backdoor Brexit thing? No,
nothing to do with Brexit. We can take Brexit completely out of the equation here. What Keir Starmer's rejected is a youth mobility deal with the EU. That's out the window. That would have something to do with Brexit. What he was talking to the Spanish Prime Minister about, Pedro Sanchez, was the idea of an exchange between young people between Britain and Spain. No different from him talking to the Canadian Prime Minister or the Australian Prime Minister about the same thing. So nothing to do with Brexit, nothing to do with Europe beyond the fact that Spain is actually in Europe, but talks with other countries about how to exchange young people so they can study in each other's countries, do certain jobs here. All that seems perfectly sensible, and it doesn't breach anything to do with Brexit.
So why has he been so strong to say, no, this isn't happening?
Well, he hasn't quite said that.
Well, no, he never quite says anything definitely,
does he? That he was approached by the Spanish PM, says he'll think about it. His aides are saying, well, actually, he was being polite. But it's not exactly off the table, but it's not on the table either.
Well, that sounds familiar, doesn't it? Claire, what do you make of this one?
Well, I mean, I think you're right. I mean, this is just Keir Starmer all over. And my son knows full well if I say I'm going to think about something, the answer is no. But with Keir Starmer, it could mean possibly in the future I'll say no now, but I'll say yes later. Now, I don't have an issue with youth mobility schemes. I actually think they're really healthy and good for young people to be able to go and study in a different country, get some language skills, which I think the UK lacks a lot of the time.
Yes.
What I would be concerned about is it's not just going to be one country. We would suddenly find that there are 27 countries and then there'll be something in return. And I do worry with Labour that they
That's
look
leaping ahead an awful lot, isn't it?
But I mean, why not?
Well, because you're talking... It doesn't matter which country you're talking to. I mean, it so happens it was the Spanish Prime Minister who came forward and put this up. It could have been anybody else. It could have been any other...
But yes, I mean, there's a lot of whataboutery going on over there, but it wasn't. And we know full well with this meeting, summit, whatever it was, that Keir Starmer is keen to have a closer relationship with Europe. That is obvious.
But there's nothing wrong with that.
It is my concern that this is the way it starts.
But what's wrong with a close relationship with Europe anyway?
Right, OK, it depends what sort of relationship you're talking about.
Well, of course it does.
Because essentially you're talking about re-entering the single market.
No, we're not talking about reversing... No, we're not talking about reversing Brexit.
Well,
we're talking about... No, we're not. It's Europe is our nearest trading partner, our biggest trading partner.
Yes.
No harm at all, and especially with migration, to have a closer relationship with Europe. That doesn't mean we go back into Europe. It doesn't mean single market. Doesn't mean freedom of movement. Doesn't mean any of those things.
That isn't the message that you get from the heart of...
From your lot.
Labour government.
Your lot put that propaganda out.
I'm sorry,
that
but...
it's going back into the EU.
So Keir Starmer was the one that was over at the summit talking about migration and looking at perhaps joining back in with a quota of migrants to come back over. And he was, so please don't tell me that's nonsense.
I didn't tell you that was nonsense.
You wouldn't dare. You wouldn't dare, I wouldn't either.
He wishes to have ongoing conversations with how you can trade more closely closely, and you can see that it would just erode over time. I think that anybody looking at it would say that this would be the gradual reducing of what Brexit should be.
I'm going to leave Claire with the last word, because it's normally a good idea.
OK.
We've run out of time.
That'll save me.
Yeah, absolutely. See, I'm good for you. Yeah, we have run out of time, unfortunately.